Who am I? Well,
Yes.
I am Tommy Marz. It's very nice to meet everybody.
All right. So now there's so much I gotta discuss with you. Starting off, the first thing is that you have a new song out, which is 15. I love to know um, pretty much everything about the song. So let's talk about what is 15.
15 is a song that, you know, I guess I'll just spill the beans right away. So I love studying whatever I'm doing. I want to make sure that I'm studying who I consider to be like the greatest. So last year I released a song called Summer Treasure, and it's done very well. It's been just burning up on the dance charts and stuff. It's been just a very great surprise type of thing. And I wrote that song and with my producer Electropoint, and I told him, I said, yeah, I want to do some kind of like dance pop stuff, but I want to still be able to tell my stories because I think I'm a singer songwriter at heart, you know.
Yeah.
And so he's like, dude, do it, like do you know, and we'll make it work in the constraints of like dance pop. So I did, and I wrote the story, and then like I would say everybody in my universe, fans, crew, you know, every publicist, everybody was like, wow, that's a really good story for like a dance song, you know. And so when we kind of got back together and said, let's do another track, I said, I kind of have this idea of kind of going back to my youth, thinking about being 15 years old and having that love of your life where your heart gets broken because in my case, her dad gets, you know, sent to another state because of his job. He had to move out of state. And, you know, you have to deal with it. So the first inclination when you're a teenager is to run away. You know, that's the first thing you think, hey, we're going to run away. We'll make a go of this. Well, as you're running through the woods, you start to realize and say, this probably is not the best idea in the world. So you just have to deal. So I kind of had the idea, and I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a month and I'm gonna study my favorite songwriters. So first person I went to, Taylor Swift. I mean, it's in terms of songwriting, I just of this generation, and I really mean this. I think she is this generation's Lennon and McCartney, Billy Joel, Elton John. I really believe she's such a strong songwriter. It's insane how deep she goes and how descriptive she gets in the song, and it kind of takes you through a journey within 3.5 to 4 minutes. I mean, it's insane how brilliant it is. So I was listening to a lot of her. I listened to, of course, I'm always listening to the Beatles because I love Revolver and Sgt. Pepper's, like everybody else. And then, but Billy Joel is another one. Like, Glass Houses is an important record, but like, with Billy, it's weird because I feel like the songs that aren't the big hits are the ones that mean the most to me, like in terms of like, wow, that's really deep. So I was listening to a lot of him. And then there's another singer-songwriter. He's the lead singer of the Verve Pipe. His name's Brian Vander Ark. And I've played with Brian many times on shows and stuff. And I'm such a fan of how he writes music. He's one of the top, like Mount Rushmore for me, songwriter-wise. So I just was listening to a lot of their stuff, and then it just happened one day. I was like, okay, I'm ready to write my story and try to be as good as they are, type of thing. You hope, you can try to write something good, and that's what it was. And it just came together really fast. In fact, the verses and the chorus that what you see, it was hard to kind of, how do I say it, to kind of pare down everything into verse, chorus, chorus, bridge, chorus, outro, because I had a full page, every line was just full of words. So actually I almost had 3 songs worth of lyrics for 15, but I kind of whittled it down to the song that you hear now.
So with that in mind, what were some parts of the songs that you really wish that you had kept in there? Or did you feel like that the ones that you currently there was everything that you think you wanted to have in?
Oh, that is a great question, because at the start of the second, this has actually been bothering me. I haven't really told anybody. I haven't even told Jeff or Electropoint this, but so the second verse, let me think of the words, but it's like, it's time to go. She wants to stay, but her mom says, no, we can't make your father wait. We can't keep your father waiting. Like the car, how it originally was, the car's packed up, it's time to go. So it was a little more descriptive of saying, hey, the car's all packed, the luggage is on top of the car. Yeah, with the luggage rack. And she's got tears in her eyes, and she's like, but I just want to stay. And she's like, let's go, because your father's waiting in the car. It was a little more descriptive, but I felt like I took it down to where it would fit, because the last thing I want to do is be too wordy, because then it turns into, the car's backed up, it's time to go. But, it turns into a nursery
off to the races.
Exactly. So it's a great question, because there's parts that it is gutting me. It's killing my mind a little bit that it's not in there. But I think to be honest, it plays better the way it is. But probably being more descriptive of that last day where, I say she's looking out the back window, and I see her fade away. Well, originally it was she crawls from the back seat over the luggage to the back window and presses her cheeks against the face, her face against the window, or cheeks against the window, and I could see the pain and the stress in her face. It was really descriptive, and I think it could be like a short story, but it works for what it is. But yes, I'm having a little bit of tough time sometimes when I go back and read and say, dang it, that was a good line, man. That was a good lyric.
Well, technically, you could still get away with doing it in a music video. You've already provided enough detail for it, which gives them enough visual wise, so that way they can still hear the song, but still have that vision in their head of exactly what you're talking about.
So you are good. You know why you're good? Because I feel like you're in my head right now. Okay, so a music video is also coming out.
Okay,
we
cool.
already filmed it. Yes. Woo. So here's the scoop, man.
Oh no.
Well, all right. So I had I've always wanted to do a recording studio video where it was go in the studio late night and do a sesh, and Jeff also was in the video, and he's in LA. So he filmed his parts in a different studio there in Los Angeles. And so we just kind of talked about it and kind of storyboarding it. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to overcomplicate it and bring in actors, because in my mind, it was two teenagers running through the woods, but not their faces, just like kind of their silhouettes running in the woods. If I was like if I was Harry Styles, and had that kind of budget, that's the video I would have made, but I'm Tommy Marz. So I got to, keep this thing, within reason. So we shot our parts, and I really like it. I think the video came out like, I'm really happy with it. But so there's a woman, she's a model, and she was in some late 80s to early 90s. She was like the video person. Like her face is in a lot of videos. So I don't really want to say her name because I didn't ask her. But anyway, and I didn't reach out and ask her to do this. So I just don't want to get out there. But anyway, okay. But I know her, and she's awesome person. She is awesome, and she's been through a ton. I mean, you got to imagine, like, going through that time period too. She's been through a ton. Anyhow, she is the first person I thought in my mind was, maybe I'll fly out to LA. I'll meet up with her, and then we'll shoot some scenes of her looking at pictures of herself when she was a teenager, and have her be the center of the video. Yeah, and then that whole thing, and then maybe at the end of the video we could go on Ventura Boulevard or something, and we just kind of pass by each other. We kind of look and say, nah, it can't be, that type of thing.
I like
and
that.
I was right there for pulling the trigger to do it, but I just it's a time crunch. It's always in my life with these, it's like I couldn't think of this 3 months ago, when I could have made it happen. But no, I'll do it like 2 weeks before it comes out and say, no, I want to change it. And I was like, all right, forget it. We'll just have it as is. But I actually thought about that. And I thought about even calling her and say, hey, would you be up for this? Because I think this would be a really cool, not just for the video, I think for her as well. Because like our conversation, last conversation we had was very deep about that, moving from a small town into Los Angeles, and life happens and you get into that rock and roll world. And, I almost think it would have been, I think it could have been great for all of us involved on a emotional level, but I didn't do it. I just ran out of time. So
that sounds amazing, because it makes that like the whole idea of it being just a past memory, a past feeling, which does relate back to the song, because the song is that kind of like past feeling of regret and not having that ability to wanting that ability to fix that mistake in a way. Yeah. Oh gosh, that would have been so good. All right. Well, I'm still I always love a good behind the scenes type music video. It does give out a lot of insights in terms of the process of making a song or making the music video, which will also translate into the next thing I want to talk about, which is, all right, you mentioned it before, you mentioned it earlier. how did you get a hold of Jeff?
Oh,
How did that
so
kind of relationship kind of formed? Yeah.
yeah, so we're buddies. First time we ever met was in LA. We were both at NAMM. It's a huge music convention in Anaheim every year.
Ooh.
And we're both actually half Korean, so we kind of bonded the night that we met. Bonded over that. Hey, we're both like guitar players, and we're both half Korean. It was such a weird thing, and it felt like similarities. They just kept coming up that night, And I mean, we were hanging out like a long time, and hey, what about this guitar player? What about this guitar player? And then all of a sudden you wind up texting and like, hey, I just thought about this. And actually that night he was so awesome because he after we left, I was talking about sushi places just to grab some rice and some bibimbap or something. And he texted me a bunch of places that he likes to go to and stuff. So he's a great guy. So anyways, we've just been friends and stuff. And last year, I think it was last year, yeah, March of last year, we were doing our just what we do. We literally we're like 15. We get on the phone and it's like, dude, do you know this riff from this song? Just stuff like that. Or I'll just call out of the blue, like, dude, I'm listening to this solo right now. Do you love that solo? Just crazy stuff. But we have some really great musical conversations. And so last year we were talking, and the pandemic was on, of course, and nobody's touring. So the Smashing Pumpkins weren't touring, and like nobody else, I wasn't touring. And a lot of the crew members were just out of work, and they're not working, they're not getting paid, like just that's the way it is. So we had like a heart to heart, and I was like, you know what, man, we should do like an online benefit show, and raise the money, and we'll partner up with the charity and try to help out some crew members and stuff. And he was like, wow, that's a really great idea. So this little tiny thing, we're kind of just riffing back and forth about, not joking around, but kind of like, you probably won't do it. Well, then like the next day, who did I get in touch with? I think I got in touch with, actually, I don't remember how I got in touch with Sweet Relief, but they're a really big, they're one of the biggest, and they're probably one of the best charities I've ever been associated with. They are fantastic. They're, like amazing. They're amazing. And so I got in touch with, I can't remember actually, but Alric is my guy over there, and he's awesome. Tatiana, just awesome. There's just great people there. And so I told him about the idea, and he's like, wow, this sounds really good. Like, this would be an awesome idea. So then he put me in touch with Cisco Adler. So he has the No Cap Show platform. Okay. So called Cisco, and we worked out, everything details wise. And I was like, okay. So I called Jeff and said, hey man, this is like a go. So he's like, well, we shouldn't just do it us. You want to get some people involved in this? And I was like, yeah. So then I reached out to another buddy, Kevin Rudolph, who had a monster hit in, I think it was 09 with Lil Wayne, called Let It Rock. It was one of the biggest songs.
Yes, I haven't heard that song in ages.
Yes, it's still one of my playlist songs. So I text Kevin. I was like, hey man, you got a second? I want to run something by you. So he calls me, and I'm like telling him this, and it was like 30 seconds. He's like, I'm in. Like, he's like, dude, I'll do it. Like, this sounds like a really good cause, So I was like, okay, cool, He's like, what do you need from me? I'm like, just do a 3-4 song set, like on your acoustic, maybe in the studio or something. So he's like, bet, like, no problem. So he did that, and then so me and Jeff, of course, putting stuff together. And he calls me one day, and he's like, so Jack Bates he plays bass in the Pumpkins when they're on tour. Well, Jack Bates' father is Peter Hook from New Order and Joy Division.
Oh shit.
So yeah, so Jeff is like, hey, I think Peter Hook's gonna play some songs, on bass. And I was like, you're kidding me. Like, I'm a huge Joy Division, New Order, like huge.
Yeah,
so that happens. And then he calls me, he's like, and this is kind of sad now because he just passed away. He's like, dude, Mark Lanigan's gonna sing a song. I'm like, Mark Screaming Trees? I'm like, oh my, like, this is kind of spiraling, like, out of control. So then he goes, let's do a jam. Let's do like a rock song. And I was like, what do you think? And he goes, I think we should cover something. I'm like, dude, let's do a Kiss song. So he's like, yes, let's do a Kiss song. So he's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, dude, if I got to sing it, I want to do Cold Gin, because I'm an Ace Frehley guy. I know Gene sings it on the record, but it's an Ace song, So I'm like, let's do Cold Gin. So he goes, dude, we should get another like bitching guitar player. And I was like, well, what do you think? He goes, what about Scotty from Skid Row? And I was like, yes. So he texts Scotty, and Scotty's like, yeah, I'm in. Like Kiss, Cold Gin, yeah, I'll do it, you know. So then I wound up playing. I laid the drum tracks. I went to the studio, laid the drum tracks, sent them the drum tracks. They did I did the drum tracks and the bass guitar. Sent them that. So it's the rhythm tracks. They sent over the guitars, and then I recorded the vocals, and then we all recorded ourselves in our little studios and put together on the thing. So it was the finale of the thing. It was awesome. But one more, and I'm not trying to like name drop here, but I did to give context, of what happened on the show. So Katie Cole also sings with the Pumpkins on tour. So she did a set. And then she did a song with Jeff and Orion Salazar, who is the bass player, used to be a bass player in Third Eye Blind.
Oh, okay.
So their song was, I mean, you talk about top notch. So then I told Jeff, I was like, hold on, man, you're getting all these cool people. I'll be right back. So I'm like, hold on, let me drop a text real quick. So one of my favorite artists of all time to this day, I cannot get enough of his solo records. So Jack Hughes is from Wang Chung. So he has phenomenal solo records. His just trust me when I say Primitive is, if you haven't listened to that, it's a double album. It's let's put it like this. In 2020, I had my album of the year thing come out. It's on my Twitter, it's like it gets a lot of action. And I had Fine Line on there, Hairstyles. I had Folklore, Taylor Swift. I had Ashton Irwin from 5 Seconds. His record's awesome. And I had something else. The Weeknd. And then I had Jack Hughes, Primitive. That's how much I love. I put it up there with those records. It's not mainstream, but it's amazing. So anyway, so I sent him a text. I'm like, hey, you got to, he's in England. He's in London. So they're 5 hours ahead. So he's like, yeah, sure. What's up? So we hop on a call, and I'm telling him about it. And he's like, oh, like, I would love to do this. What do you need from me? I'm like, so I need all the stuff by tomorrow. And the kicker is I haven't recorded the drums yet. So I'm going to do that as soon as we get off the phone. So he's like, no problem. You'll have it in your email when you wake up tomorrow. This guy stayed up all night. He recorded his guitar, the bass, and the vocal. Sent it to me, put it together. Yes. It was
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love that. Wow, the determination. Gosh.
Yeah. Oh, so the answer to the question, I'm so sorry that when I'm
you're good. I'm still over here just like shocked with the amount of name drops within. Gosh, I should ask this while we're in this bubble here. How long did it take you to plan this?
Oh, it happened so fast. I mean, like, I tell you what, that thing will always be special to me for a lot of reasons, because Jeff and I bonded over music, and then me and Jack, I feel like, got closer after that experience, but we all did. Like, all of us did. Like, everybody was just so excited. We were all, tweeting or, Instagramming with each other and stuff. It was a really, really cool thing. And a lot of people are now following other people that they weren't following before. Just, it's like a kind of little community.
It's just like fun community. Yeah. So I was about to say community too.
It was just such an amazing thing. And, it happened so fast. And even with like the press and stuff, I remember my publicist sent me a text. Usually you get like an email, hey, this came up. But I remember sending me a text. He says, hey, you wanted to get this in Rolling Stone, right? And I was like, yes. He's like, it's coming out like today or tomorrow. The article. I'm like, Rolling Stone? He's like, and then Guitar World got on it, then MSN, then Yahoo. And I was like, wow, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So anyway, so Jeff and I have just stayed in touch in terms of like just music stuff, and just stuff like, what do you like on a pizza? Just stupid stuff, when you're just friends,
guy stuff.
Just guy stuff. And so, this song was kind of coming to fruition. I was writing it. Electropoint was doing his producing thing. And then, so we both love like 80s hair metal guitar, but we both love just rock and roll, but we both love pop music. We both have a thing for, it can, from dance pop to shoegaze. I mean, I just love all music,
Yeah.
So we kind of got this thing. I don't know how it really happened, but it was like hey man, I think I'm going to do a couple more pop songs. And he was like, man, like Summer Treasure. He's like, dude, that was sweet. I was like, man, I wish I could get like not to be, again, curse on your show, but like a bitching guitar. And he was like, dude, I would love to lay like a really cool, like awesome solo over it. And I was like, you would? And he was like, yeah. I was like, here's the song, like do your thing. And so he texted me one night. He's like, hey, I'm about to go into recording for this. And he was just like, I'm going to give this like my best, And he sent me the tracks that night, and I was just like blown away, because I was like, dude, the song already had a personality, but I feel like the solo takes it lifts it. To me, it lifts the song, even further than it was. Oops, I'm sorry. Getting a ding there. Even more so. And I thought the song sat really nice, but his solo, to me, it's not because I'm just a fan of what his guitar playing, because he's a phenomenal guitar. I don't know that people realize that Jeff Schroeder is like, we joke, like when he calls me or texts me, like, hey, rocker, check this out. I'll say, what's up, Shredder? Because he is I'm a rocker, right? I can play guitar, I can play drums, I'm okay. He is a shredder. Like literally, we have Joe Satriani conversations, Steve Vai conversations in that headspace. I can play it. Okay, I can get through it. I can play all those songs. He can master those songs. That's the type of caliber player he is, So I'm honored to have him on the track, and he's phenomenal. But he does such a great job. And when the video comes out, people are going to really be able to see his finger motions, what he's doing, because there's a little part, and you've heard the song right at the end of the solo where he goes, right?
Yes.
Whew, that's fire. And when you see his fingers in the video, there's a close up of his fingers, dude. I looked at it and said, I can do that, but it's going to take me a second. I have to learn how to do that. So,
gosh, I'm still, I do play, but like, I'm still such a novice to this. And so me trying to play that, I would be like still stuck on the first couple bars, trying to figure out how he got to this section of it and then moving. So just to be able to like see that action, the buttery smooth flow that he's gonna have on the screen. So I'm excited for that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So like you mentioned earlier, I did get the chance to hear the song, and the first impression, I honestly was giving like, maybe because I'm like a huge like my 90s heart kicks in, where I'm feeling like very Backstreet Boys vibes coming through this song.
Hey, nice.
I hear that like right away, and I was like, oh, I hear that, and I'm like, okay, this is definitely one of those ones I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna be dancing to. All right, cool. And I'm listening to the words, and I'm enjoying the storyline in it, and then, gosh, I want to say right towards the end of the chorus, something hit, and I didn't expect it right away. This song reminds me so much, at least with the flow of the melody, it reminds me so much of Daft Punk's Get Lucky. Yeah. And that's when I was like, oh shit, I can start to hear that rhythm, hear the like a little bit of 80s, that's not 80s, more like 70s, the 70s vibe
of hear that guitar.
Yes.
Yes. That is you have a good ear, because when I was writing, when we were kind of going through like the melody lines and stuff, I knew, I was like, wow, this just feels like home right now. And I'm a huge Nile Rodgers fan. Huge. I'm an enormous Nile Rodgers fan. I love the way he plays guitar. And he's produced some of my favorite records. I'm a big Duran-y, so I love Duran. He has a lot to do with them. And it made me feel that way when I listen to 15, because here's a little side note. I don't really listen to my own songs once they're over. I don't know what it is. I think I just get sick of them, hearing it so much when you're mixing them and recording them. Oh, yeah. Don't really listen too much. 15, man, I've been listening to since the day I finished it. I listen to it every day, because I'm just a fan of the song. And that's why I think it's special, because, I can be pretty objective and say, some of the stuff I put out before, it's not crap, but it's not the best stuff in the world. It's okay. This one, though, I listen to as a fan and say, wow. And it's funny you say that, because I love that song as well. And I feel a connection with this song the way I feel with that song. It makes me feel a little emotional, and like that song does. And so I just feel like, man, that's a good ear, because yes. And that's a huge compliment, by the way. So thank you.
Yeah, no, I was like, the moment I made the connection, because I heard the song, I felt like I heard it before, like in a past memory of mine. And I'm like, the only closest I can come into like kind of almost mirroring was Daft Punk. And I'm like, wow, oh my gosh, the way the two kind of just blend together, it feels like they need to be like paired together at a club. Like I can hear the two mixing in so nice. Like it has that rhythm just right, where it's like, I feel like Get Lucky is that beginning intro into the 15. It feels like
Wow.
I can hear it like that. That's what I hear in my head.
I like that. Wow. And actually, I don't know what BPM that Daft Punk song is. I
They might be
honestly don't even
similar.
know. Yeah, I don't know if I have no idea. Actually, I haven't even really went to look and check on that. But wow, that's interesting to have it kind of flow. Dude, you should be a DJ at a club because I feel like that would be hot. That would be hot
Here,
right
now
there.
I feel like I should take gosh, there was a oh man, let me see. BP Finder. Ooh, I might be able to have the site for me. Here.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm searching this up right now as we're doing this interview. Let's see.
Okay,
Oh
let's do it.
Waiting for the page to load. Working. Oh, please don't give me an ad. So Get Lucky is at 116 in F minor.
116. I think I'm at 107.
Oh my goodness. One minute. Something just happened.
It's 107. So we're going to be quite a bit.
Okay.
Maybe it was the Daft Punk. No.
Maybe.
So 15 is 107 is the BPM for 15, I think.
Okay.
So we're going to be a little bit slower, but in a club thing, all you got to do is put on a.
Yeah, you just got to slow.
They'll blend in.
Yes.
Yeah. That's cool. That is cool. Wow.
Well, yeah, that was like the first thing I heard. I do really love the guitar solo in there. It does add to it. It adds that kind of it feels like the right amount of a bridge to like pump into the last phrase, the last part of the chorus. It feels so good. I'm so excited for everyone to hear it too, because this definitely has that it has that nice dance vibe to it, but still also very well written.
Thanks.
And I'm excited for people to see the music video for that, especially because I didn't see that even in the little PR email that I got that you were doing that. So
yeah, it came later. I didn't know if it was going to be finished, but yeah, so that came just recently. Like we got it finished and said, okay, we're putting it out, type of thing. So
is it going to come the same day as the music release, or is it going to come a little bit later?
No, we're going to do it the same day. So it's coming on the 15th.
Ooh, yeah. All right.
Which is different for me.
That totally reminds me, it was a total dad joke waiting to happen. The song 15 is coming out on the 15th. It is like the perfect dad joke of the century.
I know, the thing is, man, I wanted this one to come out on a Friday. Yeah. I've done a Wednesday release and stuff, but this song feels very mainstream to me. So I want everything to be mainstream on this. It's coming out on Friday. I've got a great publicist, and dude, I just want it to be like because Summer Treasure got to number 19 on the iTunes chart, that's pretty high because you're competing with some really big artists. But I did a cover of a Harry Styles song called From the Dining Table. And if you know that song, it's acoustic in his voice, it's beautiful. It's a gorgeous song. But I felt like I wanted to put some beats behind it, and I did. And so originally when I recorded the song, I did the whole acoustic guitar. Actually, I had my buddy Josh do the whole acoustic guitar. Well, I wound up making beats and putting this bass line on it. So I said, no, I'm going to make this like a beat song and only use that guitar on that, maybe one day. No, where did I put that? Oh, but you never do. Yeah, the do, no. Anyways, that song got to number 9 on iTunes chart. And I was like, what the heck? So on my Twitter, I have a lot of Harry Styles fans, and we all go back and forth. I went to 4 Harry shows. This summer, and I did meetups in Vegas, Nashville, New York, Detroit, and I'm a huge fan of Harry. A huge fan. And
all right, so now I gotta ask you then, what do you think of the newest song that came out?
Okay, I think it's. I love it. I love the 80s vibe. Now, here's something funny. Okay, something funny. Now that we're talking about that. So I wake up the other day, and on my Twitter, so if you get I don't remember what it is, but if you get 500, I can't remember, it'll say show more in notifications. Well, I had 6 of those bars. I'm like, what in the world is going on? So I'm thinking, did I get hacked or something? What is going on? So I'm going through it, and everybody's tweeting at me saying, Harry Styles is live on the air right now on the BBC 2, and they're playing your episode on your podcast where you reverse the song to him right now on the air. And I'm like, wait, what? So it was April 1st. So I'm like, this is a joke. This is a joke. Well, people are recording it, tweeting me at it. So I pull up my phone, I listen to it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Zoe Ball is showing Harry Styles me freaking out over the reverse of As It Was being the As It Was song before it was supposed to be like a thing. So he put out a teaser that was in reverse. Well, when I was listening to it, I said, wait, there's structure here. I'm like, these aren't reverse. These aren't like, zoop, zoop. This is meant to be a song. So I have the software, so I'm like, hold on a second. So I put it in the software and I reverse it. And I'm like, it's a song. This is the first song. This is going to be the first song. And so anyway, that episode, I put on a podcast, crazy viral. And so viral enough where the BBC shows it to Harry Styles live on the air. And you know what they did? It was right at the beginning of the interview. It wasn't like buried in it. It was right at the beginning. It said, hey, Harry, thanks for being here. Yeah, she's like, hey, you got your new song out. Oh, by the way, Tommy Marz did this to it and played on the crowd. It's like, what in the world is going on in my life? So,
Man.
No. So what about you though? Did you like it right away? Because I loved it right away.
So, okay. I enjoyed it the first run. I was like, all right, this is dope. I like the flow of it. I'm a huge fan of like, cause there's a couple indie groups that I've been getting back into listening, like Coin and Hippocampus, and I felt the connection. I felt the connection with those artists with that he took influence with. But because I'm on TikTok way too often, the one bit, it's probably right during the bridge where he starts talking really fast about the past. That part I'm kind of getting a little tired of, which is weird. But the music video, yeah, I think it may be because I'm seeing it too often on TikTok that it's like every 5 seconds I'm seeing it as a trend, because it's such a trending sound because of it being so popular right now that everyone's talking about it. But I do like the song. I adore it. I actually really like the music video because I'm such a big fan of the architectural design of it, and there's a lot of thought that went into that music video. So many references to like so many house designers that I've seen. There's a person on TikTok who goes into much detail about who the designer of this house does, this chair is, this bed, and what he's referencing. And it's so beautiful to see that, like, that kind of weird combination mixing in with that with his style, which is cool.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I love the aesthetic of the video. I like the look of it. I like the architecture of it. It's just the song's appealing to my ear, and the video is visually appealing. And I think it's a home run. I think it's a great song to lead with, and I'm excited to hear what's next, man. I mean, I'm really excited.
I'm excited too. And there's this conspiracy theory that I've been seeing. The future Taylor here talking to you guys. In this little small clip, we were talking about conspiracy theories. However, I didn't have my information correct, nor did I have my information ready to have the discussion with Tommy about it. We were discussing about random theories about how Harry wrote his music and other conspiracy. Granted, these are, like I said, they're all just theories, but because of that, I wasn't prepared, and I kind of brought it up because I had just recently saw it, so apologize for the now muted version of it. Back to this.
There's a ton of things out there like that. You know, the thing is, I think the last couple of years I've stayed away from all the conspiracy theories. I think I made a decision at some point. I said, you know what, I'm just going to obsess on this music. But there are days where I'll go down a rabbit hole and read stuff and almost convince myself of almost any theory and say, maybe that is true. I do it. But then, I snap out of it and say, okay, let's get back to the real world, Tommy.
Well, you know what? With the Taylor Swift ones, the Taylor Swift conspiracies, they sometimes are true and sometimes are not. And it's so hard to tell because of how she writes her music and how she puts her Easter eggs in everything.
Everything, yeah.
Gosh,
I'm learning that right now, actually, yeah.
Yeah, oh gosh. And with that in mind, because you said earlier, you do take influence with Taylor Swift. Is there any Easter eggs that we should be keeping an eye on?
Oh, in the video?
Yes.
There is.
There is?
People are going to think we set this up before, man. They're going to think that, oh, you guys must have talked before. No. And just so everybody watching, this is the first time we've ever talked. Yes, there is. There is.
Ooh, I'm so excited now.
But
don't give it away. Don't give it away. But now that we know that it's there, that's going to be enough buzz for a lot of people to be like, oh shit, we are going to get something cool. Gosh.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. And it was intentional. And I'll just say this. I brought some stuff with me to set up in a certain way. The people, and I think the people probably listening to this or watching this will get it right away. Like I would say my golden crew, like my crew, like love those guys, and they're so supportive, and they even if I'm having a bad, they just lift you up. If I'm like, I don't really complain on social media because it kind of annoys me when people do, but like let's say I'm not as sunny as I normally am, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I might get a DM saying, hey, like you're awesome. They're just awesome. So they'll get it, and I hope by the time they see this, maybe they've seen the video and they have already found the little stuff. But yes,
I'm so excited. Oh, I love
so
that.
Excited to do it.
I figured to ask that because you said Taylor Swift, and I was like, ooh, seeing how.
Yeah. I was going back and forth on whether or not I was going to do it.
Here, you know what? So we're at the fun part of the day where I have a bunch of these random conversation cards. And because I did not really prepared, these are going to be so random that I'm pulling them out, and we're just going to go off whatever the one I grab first.
Nice. Okay. Hit me.
Okay. So, oh yeah, I forget. This is like one of the ones that's like set in first person. So I have to like read it as it's not first person. What could you give a lecture at a local university?
I mean, get music. I would say like music production would be one. No. I would give a lecture on. I would tell artists just coming into the business. I would like to help them avoid the pitfalls that are out there and the sharks. I've been in this business a long time, and at some point, so many people told me you should write a book about that and tell the real. Because a lot of people write a book, they still don't give you the real. They give you a bunch of sugar-coated stuff that, to me, since I've been through it as a real artist, a lot of stuff it's useless information. Some of the stuff is really good, by the way. I also know a person that she's amazing, and we worked together in the past, and she wrote a book, and it's like blazing, and it should be, because there's a lot of helpful stuff in there. But even still, from an artist standpoint, that's what I'd love to give a lecture on, and saying, here's 10 things. And I'm just telling you, it's almost like my niece. When she was 14, I said, look, she loves her Uncle Tommy. She loves her Uncle Tommy. She don't listen to anybody, but she listens to Uncle T, right? I said, if I would never come at you and say, hey, this is what you should do. This is do this. I would never tell her to do something. I would say, this is what I would do if I were you, type of thing. And I'm saying is, if you take this advice, I can save you decades of heartache and all. If you just follow this plan, I guarantee, besides you don't know what emotional thing's going to happen, but I guarantee you're going to have a sweet life. I guarantee it. I already been through it. And I'm telling you, man, here you go. I got the blueprint. You don't have to follow it, but I'm just as a guide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with this. If I could lecture artists, up and coming artists, and say, here's the 10 things you shouldn't do, and here's the 10 things you should do. There's the long answer to that's it. I got 20 things for you, 10 and 10.
I love that. Gosh, it would be easy as well as difficult at the same time, because it's like, well, do I take the advice? Do I try to follow in that footstep, or should I be like, I'm going to be the rebel? Maybe I'm not. I'm going to avoid your comments and then see with the path. I like that. Oh gosh, I like that. It's very like, well, oh my gosh, what sucks is that I cannot pronounce words today.
Neither can I. I keep stumbling over my words.
Okay, these are like my weird cards. So let me give.
Okay.
We'll do a semi weird one. All right. The most inappropriate movie to remake as a porno.
Yes. Wait, what? Read that one more time.
So the question is what's the most inappropriate movie to remake as a porno?
Oh boy.
Like Ferris Bueller's, not Ferris Bueller. Oh my gosh, there literally was just a news article about this. Oh no, why I'm spacing on the most 80s classic comedy movie. Weekend with Bernie's.
Oh, Weekend at Bernie's would be a good one. No, you know what I was gonna say? Well, yeah, no, that probably is the right answer. Or there's a movie called Mannequin in the 80s where a mannequin comes up.
I think about that movie all the time. Oh, that's a good one. Oh man, there's this group that I recently did an interview with called Slender Bodies, and their persona right now is mannequins. And I mentioned about that movie, and they have never seen that movie before.
Oh, really? Nice.
Gosh, that's one of my favorites. I wish they remade it. And like, gosh, if that would be like the one. No, not as a porno. I want like RuPaul to play it, to be in there.
Yeah. Actually, that's a great casting call. That's a great call. Yeah.
Because it would be such an easy fix to have them in there. But yeah, that's a really good one. I like that.
Yeah,
I think I've gotten some like really dark ones. I think almost like Schindler's List was one of them. But
that would be yeah.
Yeah, you go into dark, but I think Weekend with Bernie's and I think Mannequin are probably the most fun ones.
Yeah, I love it. I like it.
All right, let's see. What's the most annoying sound in the world to you?
Oh, I do have one. Besides like Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber, I think I know what it is. There's a certain ringtone that used to be my alarm on my phone. So now when if I'm in a store or a restaurant and somebody's ringtone goes off, I don't get violently angry, but I'm approaching the line between like being a regular civil human being and like losing I don't know, as soon as I hear that as soon as I hear it, it's like I almost get angry. I'm like, turn that or answer the phone. Like I almost get like yeah. It's like the mice, the dogs, the pale dogs, and the you know what I mean, the bell and the
yeah.
Like, as soon as I hear it, I go to a whole different place.
Oh, ooh, that's a good one though. But ooh, now I do gotta ask this question because you mentioned The Weeknd previously, and now Jim Carrey. How did you feel about the Weeknd's new album, Dawn FM?
Okay, so the lead single, which I can't believe I'm saying this, I can't remember the song titles because this is like what I do. The music is my world, and I can't. Yeah. Okay, I'll just leave it like this. I really, really liked half of it.
Oh, okay. I like about 80% of it, so I definitely understand.
Yeah, I think there's moments where okay, let me say it like this.
Okay,
we've already established I love the Beatles, right?
Yeah.
And everybody that I've ever talked to in the rock and roll world knows that the White Album, if it was condensed into one album, would be the greatest album in the history of music. It would never be replaced by any other album. But when they made a double album, there's just too much on there. And I feel like if The Weeknd would have made an EP, not that he should, who am I, but
yep.
Make an EP, take half of it and put down an EP, it could be the greatest EP ever made. That's kind of how I feel about it.
So I definitely agree with you on there. There's two songs in particular that don't need to be on there. I'm a huge big fan of the Story album. You think of like Muse's Drones or Rush 2112. It has a like story. There's a huge storyline in there, and you can hear it from first song to end to last song. He has a song in there with Tyler the Creator and Lil Wayne that just don't fit in there at all. And it just doesn't flow in there. Because of that, it feels offsetting. Because like I guess you think the story setting is like you're in that late night you're driving and hearing this random radio station pop in out of nowhere, and you have that feeling. It's 5 a.m. in the morning. It's weird. It's that weird time period where it's not morning yet, but it's still not midnight. And then you hear Tyler, the Creator, popping in. Don't get me wrong, love Tyler. Tyler's amazing. It just feels so random. And Lil Wayne just pops in there, and it's like, okay.
Well, that's the thing too. Sometimes we do think, and I'm not saying them at all, but sometimes artists will do things, it's for the sake of doing something.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, how I kind of felt about it. But I can't believe you 2112 me. Like, I did not see you bringing up 2112. Just so we're clear on that.
Wait, you're
Rush
talking
rules.
to
So
yes. So my father is a huge Rush fan, and till this day he'll talk to you about how he wants to turn it into the perfect space opera that it is. And he wrote like half the script. It's written down
really,
somewhere.
wow,
Yes. And
nice.
so, gosh, that's why when the Drones album from Muse came out, I was like, hey, Dad, this is very similar to the same storylining of Rush 2112,
Mm-hmm.
but set in a more military-esque way. And it's a military dystopia. It's really good. And made him, he listened to it on like a traffic jam. And the first thing he says, he's like, the drums are too loud. That's it. Nothing else. I was like, oh, you kidding me?
Nice. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the way we mix now is a lot different, but it is weird with the Rush stuff though. I mean, I won't go too deep into it, but like Red Barchetta and stuff like that. God, it almost feels like what they were talking about in the late 70s and early 80s. I feel like it's starting to happen now.
It is
a weird time. And I almost wonder, like, Neil Peart was, he was a genius, but in many ways, but I feel like he predicted this before it's even going on with, autonomous cars and stuff. Like, we're getting there, and it's going to happen in our lifetime. Just so you know, what they're writing about is happening in our lifetime. Can't believe
it. Yes, man. Just knowing that that's there. It's floating in our heads, and we're going to be seeing it. Oh my gosh, it's like this whole Star Trek, the whole Star Trek prediction. That and Family Guy. Well, no, it wasn't Family Guy. It was Simpsons. The Simpsons predict everything. So the guy who created The Simpsons is a time traveler.
Right.
One of my favorite.
Matt Groening?
Yeah. He's just in a time travel the whole time, and just decides, I could tell everybody, or I make a cartoon.
Yeah, and it drags out over 24 seasons? I don't even know how many seasons.
It's the longest. It is the official longest running cartoon.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I think it's been official for quite some time, but like, no one wants to kill it off because it's been ongoing. Yeah,
it's one of those things. Like, you can't pull the trigger on killing a show like that, because it's just been around so long. And even if the ratings aren't what they were, as soon as it's gone, that's when you're going to notice and say, oh no,
Yeah. Oh gosh, and just seeing like the before and after of what it becomes. With that in mind, I'm going to go to a little bit of a different question. What's been the happiest memory of this past year for you?
Oh boy. If I keep it surface, if I keep it like music related, I would say, God, it really should be making a song, which it's right up there. It's like, if I did a Mount Rushmore of happiness, it would be like probably position 2 or 3. But I would say the thing that made me the happiest this past year was when I was in New York. I did a special acoustic show at Miratone Studios, and it was for all of, I would say, like the crew, my closest, whatever you want. I have a problem calling people fans or whatever, but people that enjoy what I do. It was a very limited thing, and I can only let so many people in, but it was filled up immediately. And doing that, playing some of like the new songs, playing some of my old songs, which they knew. They knew some songs off of an EP I released, how many years ago, to play those songs and, take pictures, meet everybody. And I'll never forget that. That's it. That's the moment for me. Like going to meeting everybody this whole summer, going to different cities and meeting everybody. It's all part of it, but specifically Manhattan, being there and, hey man, this is the studio dress. See you there at whatever time it was, and it was a quick funny thing about that. It was so the guy that was kind of running things, he was like, hey, so the guy downstairs, there's like a lineup of people saying, hey, they're here to see Tommy Marz. And so he's like, do you want me to let him in? I was like, yeah, can you just hold him like in the live room? Cause I'm kind of setting up, I'm tuning my guitar and just trying to, get warmed up or whatever. And I remember he comes in, he goes, "Hey, it's getting like really crowded in here. Can I let him in?" I was like, "Yeah, let him in." And it was just it was such a rush of feeling, because on one hand, they were like, I'm sitting over there and they're like, I can hear them like, there's Tommy, because first time I ever met these people in person,
Yeah.
and you see people on Twitter every day. But I was doing the same thing. So I like, I got my shades on like I always do. And I'm tuning my guitar, but I'm also looking through my shades going, recognizing everybody's face, saying, "Holy shit." You know what I mean? So that's it. That's number one for me. I'll never forget it. And then, in fact, we all went for drinks after. We all went for drinks and hung out. We wound up hanging out. It was perfect. It was perfect.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
And so besides the live stream event, and was this the first like performance after COVID, or did you do one before?
No, that was the first one. Yeah.
Wow. Ooh, that's
Yeah,
such a great feeling to get back into the industry, get back into the live world. Oh my gosh, I love that.
Here. It really was something. The thing was, my hotel was whatever street it was on, but I don't know if you've been in New York lately, but everything's Uber. There's like no friggin' cabs anywhere. Like New York, you think of cabs, right?
Yes.
Like taxi cabs. So I'm walking down, not walking down Broadway. I'm walking down Fifth Avenue, can't get a cab, don't have the Uber app because I didn't set it up. So, because I'm like the last person on earth that doesn't use Uber or any of that.
I uninstalled the app the moment I leave the area.
Yeah, I just never took the time. So I walked my butt and sweating, and I have my acoustic guitar on my back. It was almost like that should have been a video, walking, trying to hustle down there because I don't want to be late to my own thing, you know. And I've got this guitar and like stuff packed in there in my backpack, and I got like a Mr. Cool Guy clothes on, so I'm sweating my ass off in New York City, walking down Fifth Avenue looking for a cab, can't find none, and then whatever, man. So
I know. I mean, you hustled your way over there, technically.
I did.
In style.
I really did.
Here, we're going to do...
It was a little sweaty.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, well, you'll be sweating before, at least then that way you're not going to be sweaty on stage.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's a valid point that I have right there for the moment, at least.
No, it is. It is totally.
Yeah. Here, we're gonna do one last one before we kind of like wrap it up because I didn't realize what time it was. If you were to press shuffle right now on your music library, what would you put? What would be the first song on that list? Oh my gosh. Yeah. I read that wrong, but we're gonna just continue with it.
Well, if I'm hearing it, like I think, okay, let me just say this. So the song I listen to most in my life right now is Hairstyles Golden. It's my favorite song. I think it's the gem. It's the pearl of fine line to me. I also listen to the Luke Hemmings song Motion.
Okay.
Very, very much. That is the pearl of that record. Actually, I like that Talk Fast song by 5 Seconds, man, dude. That's a good song too. But the thing is, I have to say this is, I just said this to Jeff the other day because he brought up something we had not talked about this. So my crew knows that, and I'm going to say it again because I've said it this way a couple of times. I've had my head up my ass, so far up my ass over the last month and a half with Billy Idol, the Rebel Yell album, like insanity. Like I've obsessed on that album the way I've obsessed on Golden. And anybody that knows me knows that Golden's my favorite song. They know I have a shower playlist in the morning. It's a song that starts the shower. It's a song that ends the shower playlist. It's the best song in the world, right? I love it. It makes me happy. Even if I'm having a bad day, I put on Golden and I'm right back into it, right? So knowing that, I've been obsessing over Rebel Yell, like I listened to the tape when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It just didn't resonate with me. So a couple weeks ago, me and Jeff were talking about 15 and some new stuff we want to work on. He goes, dude, look, man, I'll be your Steve Stevens. And I was like, what did you just say? He's like, what? I was like, did you just Steve Stevens me? And he was like, yeah, Steve Stevens is the guitar player on that album, on the Billy Idol album. And I'm like, this is a crazy universe. Like, wait, what? Like, I almost couldn't believe he said that because it was so random. And I was like, you are the Steve Stevens. I'm Billy, though. I'm the Billy Idol. So anyway, so if we press shuffle, I would say right now the first song that would come up, if I'm being truthful, even though Golden is my favorite, I just want to establish that. Oh, you know what? I've been listening to New Romantics a lot too with Taylor. Anyway, the song that would come up though would be Daytime Drama, Billy Idol.
Ooh,
for right
all
now.
right. All right. I like that. I love this. I love the complex of, oh my gosh. I've never met like such a big Harry Styles fan as until I met you.
Oh,
So
cool.
um a lot of the Harry Styles fans I do meet, they're just like casual. They're like, oh yeah, I like Harry Styles. But hearing you talk about how excited you are about him is so exciting to hear. Because I love that other artists can be excited for other artists. And that's
Oh
such a
yeah, like
cool feeling.
he's got a great vibe, and he has something magic in his voice. It's not like, people talk about boy band stuff. Yes, he can sing.
Yeah.
It's not about how he sings. It's the tone of his voice. There's something in it that's just, it's special, man. It's just special. But I do want to say though,
Yes.
Niall Horan was also in 1D. Okay. And
Yes.
I guess I should to be transparent here. I knew nothing about either one of these guys. 2.5 years ago, they could have walked in my house, or they could have delivered a pizza. I had no idea who they were. I wouldn't even care. Of course, now if they delivered a pizza, I'd lose my shit. But what I'm saying is, Niall Horan, he's the blonde hair guy. I don't know if you know Niall.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, it's like 1A with those two. Like Niall's, his Heartbreak Weather, Flicker, that album, both of those albums,
Yes. Gosh.
phenomenal. Okay. I mean,
See, you know what was really exciting? I always love when a boy band group like ends, because then you could see who was the one that was successful in the group, and both Harry and Niles were the ones that did become more successful. Yes, Zayn did release a couple songs, but there was something a little bit off that just wasn't hitting it just right. But like, gosh,
I think part of it's a touring part though. I think with him, with
yes,
his guy, he's not able to tour, and I think that hurts the album getting out there, because that Icarus record. I mean, honestly, there's some moments on it, not the whole record, but like, There You Are. If my crew's watching, they know I talk about these damn songs all the time. But There You Are and then Sour Diesel, phenomenal. But Louis, I gotta say, with Louis, man, Kill My Mind, that's up there for me, like Golden and Nice to Meet You by Niall. Like, that's up there for me. And then I do want to give Liam. Liam never gets any love, but his
I
Sunshine
know.
song, Sunshine rules, dude. Sunshine is a pop. I could eat it. It's so tasty. You know what I'm saying? I could eat that song. It's so tasty. Dude, yes. Liam Payne. You know what I'm saying?
Team Liam. All right.
All right, here we go.
Well, with that being said, where can we be able to find you, Tommy?
Just Tommy Marz Band, TOMMYMARZBAND. Come follow me on Twitter. It's easy to find me. Actually, to the point now, I've been through the ringer so much on Twitter. Just type in Tommy Marz and you're gonna see this guy. You're gonna find him.